Welcome back to our SEGA Arcade Extravaganza and VG commentaries. And yep, we're doing another AM2 game with Virtua Fighter. And no, we're not doing the arcade version, we're doing the SEGA 32X version of Virtua Fighter.
And so, would you care to explain why you chose the SEGA 32X version over the Saturn or arcade version?
Well, I know that the nerd already reviewed this game, this version of it I know the nerd already reviewed this game, and I figured like I wanted to see how this game was, and I had to record this game on a console version because there's no way I'm playing this on an arcade. It's too damn difficult, and I know that I'm playing this on easy mode, by the way.
I mean, no shame. I did remember seeing it on an arcade.
Junin Haindayo.
Junin Haindayo. Yeah. That's something Akira says. We're playing as Kajimaru, which is come to think of it, Patrick, who do you like more, Kajimaru or Akira?
It's okay. I can pick my top 3 characters.
Sure.
Sure, go ahead.
I want to say Akira, Kagemuru, and Jackie Bryan.
Okay, sweet. I take it you were excited when you saw Kajimaru and Akira teaming up in Virtua Fighter. I mean, not Virtua, Project X Zone 2.
Project Cross Zone 2? Oh yeah. Oh, hell yeah. That was like, man, when they doing the, sorry. Okay, so like, when their theme we're playing and stuff, besides Ride the Tiger, it played the Love Is Not Enough theme from the Virtua Fighter anime. And it only plays during the second part of it. And that's also sung by Takanobu Mitsuyoshi. So they kind of gave like that awesome feel with their inclusion and stuff. And they, they're also like rivals in the games as well. Like, the game doesn't really explain it well unless you have the manual. So like in the first Virtua Fighter game, Akira lost to Kagemuru, and like Akira was like really pissed off about it, so he continued to train harder. And then the second Virtua Fighter game, he ended up winning the whole event.
All right.
And yes, and I also forgot to mention, like Daytona, you will be seeing like some sort of frame dropping.
Okay.
And also I was you know what? Okay, so
you're playing as Pi now.
Yeah, because I remember like I played this game. So I tried to play against her as Kajimaru, and I died. So I just cut out like all the times that I died and just picked the ones that I won against.
So you gave up fighting Pi as Kajimaru. So you just cut to when you made it to her as Pi, and you're gonna be playing as Pi from now on.
I don't know.
It seems like he changes again.
Yeah.
Or you're just gonna change again. Okay.
Yeah, possible.
Anyway, Patrick, I believe you're the biggest Virtua Fighter fan I know, but is Virtua Fighter your absolute favorite SEGA franchise?
I want to say it has to be my second favorite franchise.
Okay, what's your absolute favorite SEGA franchise?
Sonic the Hedgehog, of course.
Okay.
My second. And between third, I want to say either Sakura Tyson or Dead.
Or what? Your voice cut out.
The third one, my third choice would have to be either Sakura Wars or
Sakura Wars or what? Your voice cut out when you were trying to say the second one.
The House of the Dead.
House of the Dead. Okay. How could anyone do this?
Wait, that's House of the Dead? How could anyone do this?
Yeah, that's because the game has some pretty laughably bad voice acting.
Oh.
Yeah,
we're meeting G over there.
Yeah, most of the bad voice acting like kind of originated from the House of the Dead too.
I take it it's come to think of it, which voice acting is worse, House of the Dead 2 or the original Resident Evil? Because they're both horror games with laughably bad voice acting.
I want to say House of Dead 2 is the good bad funny, while Resident Evil is kind of like okay, what's going on here? It's not scary or anything.
So it's ridiculously, laughably bad.
Yeah.
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
And now
Just take a look at this.
And then also I just changed again with Sarah.
Oh, yeah, you're being Sarah, my main.
Sarah Bryant.
Yep.
Sarah's my main in Virtua Fighter 5.
Yeah, she's I think she was brainwashed in the first 2 games, and then she lost her memory in the third one, and tries to fight her brother to like, I think trying to find peace with herself,
And in the fourth game.
Yeah, in the fourth game, J6 was trying to come after her so that way they could use her as the next Doral, but they ended up getting I think she ended up getting the bodyguard, and instead of taking Sarah, they took Vanessa and used her as as the basics for the next Doral project. V-Doral, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but like gameplay wise, Virtua Fighter is, everybody says it's a technical game, which is kind of true, but it's also easy to learn as well because it's pretty much 3 buttons. You got guard, punch.
Yeah, that's one thing I will applaud Virtua Fighter for. It's very simple with just the buttons alone, because there's an attack button, a guard button, and there's the punch button, a kick button, and a guard button.
Mm-hmm.
There's Akira.
Here's Akira.
Junin Haindayo!
Yep.
Let's see if you're not 10 years too early.
What do you mean 10 years too early?
That's something Akira says.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's what he says in Japanese.
Yep.
Oh.
Junin Haindayo! That means you're 10 years too early.
Ah.
Like he says that in not just Virtua Fighter, but also a lot of other games that he appeared in. In fact, a fun fact: Akira, Sarah, Pi, and oh man, what's the other one I'm thinking?
Wolf.
Kagemaru.
No, not Kagemaru.
Jackie.
No. Yeah, Jackie. Yeah. Jackie, Akira, Sarah, and Pi. They're all playable in Dead or Alive 5.
Hey, that
yeah.
right.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, I think the guy who made Dead or Alive took inspiration from Virtua Fighter, I believe.
Here's the bonus stage of Dural.
Oh snap! Am I gonna have to cause 20,000 damage to beat this one again? That's a Project X Zone reference, by the way.
Oh, I see. I just love her pose when she wins. It looks like she's posing for a magazine or something.
I think that's the point.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So pretty much Doral is the final boss in all the Virtua Fighter games. She has almost all the main characters' movesets, and and once you lose against her, you can't get a continue. It'll go straight to the ending.
Yep.
So it's just like Seth in Virtua. I mean, not Virtua. Street Fighter 4.
Well, yeah, kind of like Doral was before his time and stuff. Like
True.
I feel like with Street Fighter 4, they kind of use the design of Doral for Seth per se.
That might explain it then.
So that's all I was thinking. Like, if they ever make like a Sega versus Capcom game, they should definitely have both of them in there to some extent.
Yeah. In fact, I think we can all agree that Sega versus Capcom needs to be a thing. Instead of doing another Marvel versus Capcom, they should do Sega versus Capcom.
Agreed. And I will say right now, so when I first saw Dural, I thought this was gonna be like the fighting polygons from Super Smash Brothers. And that was Virtua Fighter on the 32X.
Yeah. So, okay, final thoughts. Lucas?
Alright, final thoughts. Virtua Fighter is a good game. It is a good game, but overall, it is challenging to beat, even in normal mode. It is challenging. So my advice is, I'd say just at least play it, just at least play it on the arcade version, and if you do want to play on the console version, and actually beat it, set it on easy mode. I'm sure you have a really you'll have a much better time just beating the game.
If you're new to the game, anyway, if you actually want a challenge and you think you're good enough at the game, you would probably want to put it back to normal mode. Kind of like what I did when I first got into Devil May Cry. But I digress.
Yep, and I don't know if I know Seth and Patrick have played this game, but I don't know if anyone else have played Virtua Fighter.
Scott and Noah?
Man, I love Sonic the Fighters.
I'll take that as a no.
So,
okay, I guess.
I saw there was an arcade. I saw there was an arcade of it. That's all I see, but I never played.
Okay.
Okay.
Just try it. It's really fun.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I'll give my final thoughts now. The first Virtua Fighter game, it definitely sets a lot of things for 3D fighters. It's one of the first 3D fighting games. It's definitely it's a thing. It was pretty interesting for the time. Although in my case, I honestly don't think the game has aged very well, and this may have to do with the fact that I was spoiled by the likes of Virtua Fighter 5 and Virtua Fighter 2 even. So I'm not exactly that much of a fan of the first Virtua Fighter game, because the way you do certain special moves, I feel, is awfully clunky and kind of difficult. Like, I'd say it's even harder to do than Street Fighter 2 even. So again, the combat is simple for the most part, but again, it's the special moves that I tend to have a hard time doing. I just want to use Sarah's grab, but I can't get her to do it. It's so strict. So that's why I prefer Virtua Fighter 5 and even Virtua Fighter 2 from what I remember. I mean, I haven't played much of Virtua Fighter 2, but I have played at least 5 minutes of it to know what that game is like. I know it's $5 on PSN, and I should probably pick it up at some point. But yeah, I still recommend playing the first Virtua Fighter game just to see where all this 3D fighting shtick started and how Virtua Fighter made its mark on the map. But there are honestly much better fighting games to play out there, like Virtua Fighter 5, even Soul Calibur 2 and Street Fighter 2. But this game is fine. It's nothing bad. It's not bad at all. It's just aged and it just could have been better is all. But that's just me. So, Patrick, final thoughts on the first Virtua Fighter?
I want to say, in my opinion, Virtua Fighter has to be one of the best. Out of all the AM2 games, I think Yu Suzuki has really outdone himself with Virtua Fighter, because it's actually the very first 3D fighting game, developed in 1993. I love all the characters, their designs, and all the move sets and stuff. I've been playing Virtua Fighter. I think the first Virtua Fighter game I played was Virtua Fighter 2 since I was at least 5 or 6, and I had a blast playing with like different variety of characters like Jackie, Akira, Kagemiru throughout the years, and it's a technical fighting game, but it's easy to pick up to play too. They have certain characters that you can play that, like, you know, is recommended for like beginners, novices, and even expert players too. Like this is my second This is my second favorite franchise that's developed by SEGA. One thing I do want to know: when is Virtua Fighter 6 happening?
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, there is another 3D fighting game I heard that would to be in development, and that's Soul Calibur 6. But that's the only other 3D fighting game that comes to mind besides Virtua Fighter.
But it's not Virtua.
I know it's not Virtua Fighter. I'm sorry. but I think Soul Calibur is easier to play than Virtua Fighter, but that's just me. So, yeah, but thoughts on the first Virtua Fighter game specifically?
I think the 3D models are pretty unique. The game, well, I'll say this: in all the Virtua Fighter games, like the games kind of progress a little bit more advanced, like special move wise and stuff, because it gets harder to perform like combos, particular moves that the characters has.
Yeah.
Like Akira's Hongeki Unchi Shokusho is pretty much 3 button combinations you got to pull off in a
That's crazy.
very quick.
Yeah.
You have to do it in a second, but it's still fun. Move wise in Virtua Fighter, I think it's a lot easier to pull off than the other games.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's a lot harder to do than the other games.
I think it's a little unbalanced sometimes with certain characters, because like with Akira, I can use his Tetsu Sanko and like KO an opponent within one blow, like if they're vulnerable to the attack. So it's fun, and I prefer playing it like with 2 players and stuff, like, you know, to test my skills against other people.
Of course. And again, I did have fun when I played you and Patrick. I mean you and.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was fun.
Okay, so yeah, that was Virtua Fighter.
On 32X, by the way.
On SEGA 32X. Tune in for the next part of our SEGA Arcade Extravaganza, for something pretty crazy, if you know what I mean. So see you then.